What's up guys, Aaron Benjamin here for another video. Today I'm here with my good friend Nick. Nick is a black belt and it's unbelievable to watch him roll at our academy because we have so many high level guys, world class guys that come through. And Nick is able to stop the majority of their guard passes and even submit a lot of them with something that's typically unorthodox, which is a bicep slicer. So he specializes in his bicep slicer that I actually made a very sad attempt at teaching on my channel because it's so good that I wanted to somehow portray the information to you guys so you guys could try to utilize it as well. Because even if you're a lower belt and it's illegal, you don't need to use it so much as a bicep slicer as you can just to get guard retention. So it's such a good position. He's also super good at the inverted arm lock and he does like a double attack from both of them. So I figured why not have him on the channel to show you himself. So I'll stop talking and he'll get into it.
Cool. Well, thank you, Aaron, for having me here. So I'm going to start off with kind of my approach to this technique here. So, so I like to first off look at my position here from the bottom. I want to make sure that my shoulders aren't flat. I always want to make sure that I have like a tortoiseshell type shape to my body, a nice hollow portion to my body here. That way I'm more mobile. Otherwise, I just kind of put on the brakes by keeping my back flat. So I always want to have my shoulders up. My foot position is pretty important, as well as my grips. So typically, I actually started to use this because of guys like Aaron, who had a very, very good Toriano pass, long step pass. So my foot position, I have both feet on his hips. I want to make sure that, so for me, I like to take that flip grip here, that 3-finger grip here, as opposed to the pistol. I know there are different variations, but this is what works for me. I like to then push my right leg into his hip, like so. So I take the angle. From here, I want to keep my left elbow tucked into my side, and I'm actually going to rotate my grip here. So once I have this this arm in position, I'm going to take my palm, kind of like climbing a rope. I'm going to take my palm, I'm going to rotate my wrist and pull my elbow to my side. This is very important here. If my elbow leaves my hip at all, I've completely lost this position here and I have to start all over again. So I keep my elbow tight. I'm going to take my hips, I'm going to swing my hips out to the side. My leg is going to come over his bicep, and then just kind of take a shallow lasso grip. So my toes are going to kind of point over his shoulder, and then I'm going to drop my knee. Okay. So from here, I have a few options. So typically what guys tend to do, I've noticed, is they kind of caught up in the moment and they start to really pass off to the side here. So what I do, I keep this grip. I've actually played around with a few different variations. I've tried it, lapels, cross collar, same side. It works the best with this grip here. So I'm gonna kick this leg through to remove the grip, and I'm gonna pull kind of up and over my head with this arm. So once I'm here, my legs are gonna kind of do I call it the I dream of Genie, right? My arms are gonna, my arms are crossed, my legs are gonna cross. So I wanna pull my knee down, my hips are gonna turn into Aaron's body, and I'm gonna take my legs and I'm gonna cross my right leg over his elbow while keeping his arm alongside my thigh here. I don't want it to come by my belly button. I want it to come right along my thigh, and my palm stays up as I'm pulling. So from here, I'm gonna cross my legs over and exactly. I'm gonna lift.
It's so tight, guys. It's unbelievable how tight it is.
So I'm gonna try to do it so I'm not killing Aaron's arms here. So my legs, again, I crisscross my hips. The really important part is I can have my hips off to the side and get this, and there's gonna be absolutely no tension. There's no bite. So what I wanna do in order to get that bite is I need to pull my hips into Aaron's torso, okay? I cross, and then I lift my hips and point my knees. Okay, so there's that bicep slicer.
So let's change angles just so I can see what you're doing with your feet too. I think this will be good.
Do you want me to explain it all?
Yeah, you can explain it a little quicker.
Sure. So from here, my right foot goes into the hip. I swing my hips off to the side. I'm gonna come over Aaron's elbow, under his armpit. I point my toe up to the ceiling, around his shoulder up to the ceiling. I'm gonna kick this leg through and pull his arm over. I'm gonna crisscross, so I'm gonna figure 4, but cross my leg over his elbow. And as I do so, my hips are gonna come into Aaron's torso, and I'm gonna try to point my knees away. So here.
It's crazy tight, guys. It's crazy tight. And you'll also mess around with the arm lock sometimes?
Yeah, so with the arm lock,
you can go there if you want.
so get back in here. So with this arm lock here, there are times where guys are just very tough, and they're not really, tapping to my bicep slicer here. So in this instance, I keep this tension. I find that keeping this grip when I don't have the bicep slicer is very important, because sometimes what happens is they'll take their midline of their body, their breastbone, and line it up with my breastbone, so they're like walking their legs back. And then the worst case scenario for me is I just reclaim my guard.
Yeah.
So I like to keep that grip for that very reason. So I'm in here. I have this position here and locked over, but I can't get that bicep slicer. So from here, I take my grip and I'm gonna adjust my position. I'm gonna first off make sure that I'm pinching his wrist between my shoulder and my ear. I don't want his wrist to fall in between the crook of my neck, because it's very flat to my torso. So I want to make sure that I have a little bit of space when I pinch. I'm going to take my palm. I'm going to have my right palm facing me, my left palm face away. Again, I want to take that corner, and I'm going to just kind of start by his shoulder. I'm going to point my knuckles to Aaron's ear, and then I'm
tap,
slide.
Yeah, I think when he does that, it helps off balance my chest weight, and I go towards that bicep. And man, it's like, this is the story of our rolls. Like, I get there, and exactly what he said. I'm trying to pass her, I'm trying to move. He gets this here, and I go parallel with his breastbone. What he said is super important for lower belts, and it was subtle. When I come back this way, he just retains guard. And that's literally, I've seen him roll with tons of world-class black belts. He's rolling with me, he's rolling with everybody. And the good guys that can put up with that pain, or that know his game, because by now we've rolled like 100 times. I know he's trying that slicer. He's got me with it plenty of times. I circle back, try to align our chests so that we're parallel. He gets his guard back. Nothing comes of my situation. I just expend a bunch of energy. So man, that's amazing. I highly recommend doing that. And to be honest, I'm not somebody who's naive or closed-minded, but lasso is just not something I did that much. I didn't do too many slicers either until I started rolling with Nick, and like, man, it has a crazy amount of merit. So don't ever knock something until you try it, or until you get your bicep broken by it. But thanks to Nick, thanks to you guys. Always, guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that little notification bell. Thanks so much.